Relieve, respond, revive. WSFL-TV presents The Rebound, South Florida. Millions of Americans struggle to find work. Some have stopped looking. Instead, they've created an opportunity for themselves.
I feel free. I feel a lot freer than I did a few months ago.
How a sudden spike in new business applications could have a big impact on the economy.
I really kind of think the best thing that's worked for me is just having grace and mercy with myself.
It's been a tough year for many people's mental health, including college students. But there is hope when it comes to managing the pressure. What could help your loved one feel optimistic about the future? Plus, making ends meet. We all know how the pandemic has affected our finances. And if you're taking a step back and crunching the numbers, there are some apps out there that could help you make some smart money moves. The Rebound South Florida starts right now.
I'm Forrest Saunders at the Capitol. Florida's unemployed say they're still struggling to get an appeal from the state when their claim is denied. Some are saying it can take weeks, maybe even months, to get some kind of a ruling. Antonio Bush, an electrical contract worker, could really use the state unemployment benefits he believes he's owed.
I'm a married man, and my family is suffering due to all this.
While initially approved, the Gainesville man says his claim was shut down after working a job that lasted less than a week. He tried to appeal, and it sounded like things were working out.
I was told that I got 2 to 6 weeks, and it should be cleared up.
But those weeks have now turned into nearly 4 months. Still no benefits and no word on what's next.
It's like they just don't care anymore. It's just like, whatever.
State Senator Jason Pizzo says he's hearing this complaint a lot. Hundreds of constituents messaging him stuck in unemployment limbo.
At the very least, what DEO and the administration owe these people, a firm no.
Pizzo believes it's a complicated appeals process, slowing claims from moving forward. Online, DEO breaks down the process in 3 levels. It starts with an initial denial. After comes appealing to a DEO referee for a review and hearing. And if that doesn't work, applicants can go a step higher, the 3-member Reemployment Assistance Appeals Commission.
It's a separate little quasi-judicial entity under this Florida Statute 443.
And Pizzo says according to the data he's seen, that group has only seen about 850 applicants as of last month.
So they're holding up, obviously, thousands of applications from getting that final determination so they don't slam onto this 3-member commission, for the appellate process. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense that there's only like 850.
We've reached out to DEO on what the current number of commission appeals are, as well as the backlog to reach them. Officials have yet to send a reply.
Pretty much, that's how I feel. I'm being ignored.
While we wait, so too does Bush. Though he's returned to work, he still has bills to pay. His benefits could go a long way towards ending what has become a summer of suffering.
I really need it. I mean, what can I do? I'm only one person.
At the Capitol, Forrest Saunders, WSFL TV.
It's been a tough year for people's mental health with life-altering situations like the coronavirus pandemic. One study finds that college students are not immune to those impacts.
It's been a strange time everywhere as COVID-19 upends how people normally live. That includes college students, many now in a hybrid form of learning, with some on campus and some on a computer at home, like Gregory Carnisi.
Something that I've been experiencing myself, something that I've heard my peers experiencing, is just this feeling of being overwhelmed because everything is online now.
Carnisi goes to Arizona State University, just one of the campuses in the U.S. where the nonprofit mental health organization Active Minds recently surveyed several thousand college students to see how they are faring in the time of COVID-19. Here's what they found. 1 in 4 students said their depression had significantly increased since the start of the pandemic. 89% of the students surveyed said they're experiencing stress or anxiety, and 56% said their daily activity had decreased or significantly decreased.
We have to remind people, you used to walk 3 miles a day to and from class, or you used to be out on the field running around for soccer practice, and you're not doing that right now. So how else can you fill that gap and that void for yourself?
Allison Malman with Active Minds says it's also important for colleges and universities to tailor student access to mental health services, since so many are no longer on campus as much.
We are still needing to promote access, and we are still needing to give people the supports that they need in the way that they are able to reach them.
But there were some positive findings in the survey. Nearly 2/3 of students said they have been helping support others with their mental health. And more than 77% of those surveyed said they feel optimistic about the future. Gregory Carnisi says he's just taking it one day at a time.
I really kind of think the best thing that's worked for me is just having grace and mercy with myself and just doing your best day to day, even if that best is just getting out of bed and like making yourself breakfast. Just like these basic things, that's enough.
As everyone keeps trying to find their way through these tough times. I'm Maya Rodriguez.
I'm the volunteer chair, and I see that everybody get their slips to deliver to different homes.
At 91 years young, she loves giving back to the community. But COVID has interfered with that love. We'll introduce you to Miss Hattie and her passion for Meals on Wheels.
If there's one thing this pandemic has shown South Floridians, it's that people in our communities care. Miss Hattie is 91 years young, and she's a volunteer with Meals on Wheels. But because of COVID, she hasn't been able to volunteer like she normally would. But one thing's for sure, she can't wait to get back out there and help deliver meals.
I would always meet them at the site, and we'd get them distributed and have our prayer every morning, and then they'd go out and deliver the meals.
Miss Hattie used to spend her weekends volunteering for Meals on Wheels South Florida, meeting with volunteers to direct them to the right routes for the day and delivering meals to the most needy herself.
I'm the volunteer chair, and I see that everybody get their slips to deliver to different homes and whatnot. And then after that's over, they'll bring me back home, and I see them the next week. It's the same thing.
Miss Hattie has been a volunteer for the nonprofit for over 30 years. She's the second longest volunteer with the organization.
We couldn't do anything without the commitment and the dedication and the compassion of the volunteers like Miss Hattie.
But since the pandemic, she's had to put a hold on meeting with the team. To fill her spot, Mark Adler from Meals on Wheels says volunteers have stepped up to the plate.
It warms my heart every day that I know that Miss Hattie and Miss Lucy and everybody else, all the volunteers are out there just doing what it takes to make everything work.
Even though Miss Hattie understands the risk, she wishes for things to go back to normal.
I hope we can get back together soon to continue to deliver the meals.
We're challenging our communities to step up and fight hunger among the most needy. If you'd like to contribute to Meals on Wheels South Florida, there's a link at the top of our website.
I felt so low when I lost my job, and to be able to turn this into something that makes me feel so lucky and so fortunate is already a huge success.
Turning your passion into a paycheck. How some people are taking their unemployment situation and turning it into something good. And there are some apps out there that could help you make some smart money moves. You're watching the Rebound South Florida. Getting through this with stories to help get back on track as we rebound in South Florida.
As millions of people struggle to find work, some have just stopped looking and instead have decided to create an opportunity. Experts say this is evident in the number of new business applications they are seeing. Here's some who found this recent entrepreneurial spirit during recent unemployment and some insight into how their journey could impact our entire economy.
Thousands of businesses have closed their doors, but this new bookstore in New York City is hoping to open. The owner, Lee Altschuler, lost her job in March.
I was caught definitely by surprise.
Rather than searching for a new job, she decided to bet on herself, invest her entire savings into a business around her passion for books.
I felt so low when I lost my job, and to be able to turn this into something that makes me feel so lucky and so fortunate is already a huge success.
Some may call her decision inspirational, others crazy, but it's part of a growing trend.
I was working at a local restaurant here in Tampa.
Nicholas Bryan and his brother Greg recently opened a meal kit business around Chef Nick's homemade pasta. Starting a business together was an idea they kicked around for years, but never had the time to fully flesh out. That is until Nick lost his job.
Definitely had a little bit of time to slow down and to actually plan things out.
The business has taken off, providing more than a good income for the siblings.
I feel free. I feel a lot freer than I did a few months ago, like doing what I love on my own time, creating my own dishes, and being financially sustained. It's awesome.
Across the country, there have been at least 3.2 million new business applications filed this year. This time last year, that number was around 2.7 million.
It's hard to know, I think, at the moment as to whether or not this trend that we have seen that is very discernible is going to continue, and it's hard to know exactly what the real impact over time is going to be.
John Deary is the founder for the Center for American Entrepreneurship in Washington, D.C., and says new businesses like Sweet Pickle Books and Pasta Packs have an uphill battle. But if these businesses and others survive, they could be a major factor in our economic recovery.
Startups are disproportionately responsible. They're not the only source, but they're the major source. They're disproportionately responsible for the innovations that drive economic growth and job creation in the economy.
For now, they are helping at least these 3 people survive and find purpose in this pandemic. I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.
As part of our commitment to helping South Florida rebound, we want to tell you who's hiring. A new courier service mobile app created by a local 18-year-old is hoping to hire over 100 drivers.
It's a gig economy app where drivers roam around waiting for requests and deliver items from point A to point B for both consumers and businesses.
Ari Sibursky is the founder and CEO of Getcha. He says the app allows customers to select their preferred drivers for future deliveries. That's what makes them different from other courier services like Uber Eats and Postmates.
If you need to deliver something to the post office, pick up something from the post office, deliver anything to any location, to pick up from the store, Getcha has a wide variety of uses.
We'd like to cater to businesses or even to the regular person that like to send a package from their house to a friend's house, or anything that they would like to do. If they forget their dog leash at the dog park, something as simple as that, we can pick it up and grab the dog leash and bring it to the next place.
Ari's good childhood friend, Kyle Blumberg, is the deputy of operations. The teens are not only starting a business together, but they're helping people in South Florida and Michigan get jobs. The company has hired over 40 drivers, and they're accepting more applications.
There are definitely a lot of requirements when it comes to becoming a Getcha driver, but I'm just going to list the top 5 requirements for you. So firstly, you must be 18 years or older and have 2 years of driving experience. You must have personal insurance, have a mailing address, pass a background check, and also have a valid driver's license.
While attending college, Ari hopes to make a difference in the community during this difficult time.
The unemployment rate skyrocketed throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, and a lot of people lost jobs. And I felt that Getcha was the best way to actually give jobs to these unemployed workers.
The app is expected to launch next week and will be available in Fort Lauderdale. There are plans to expand it to other areas across South Florida. You can find a list of all of the qualifications and requirements to become a Getcha driver on our website, WSFLTV.com.
Here's what's next on the Rebound South Florida. In a time when most of us could use a little extra care, nurturing another living thing could be just the right medicine. How plants are providing a boost for some communities.
The pandemic has affected our finances in all kinds of ways. However, there are some apps out there that could help you make some smart money moves. Let's start with Stash, a personal finance app.
With Stash, you can start investing in stocks and funds you know for just $5.
Of course, how much you invest in different stocks and funds is up to you. The app also lets you buy just fractional shares too.
Just like you can order a pepperoni pizza or a veggie pizza, you can order stocks like these.
The app also lets you pay bills, track your spending, and save for goals. Plus, it provides advice and automated investing. The Stash app has 3 different plans to choose from, starting at $1 a month. Next, get insurance with Policy Genius.
Policy Genius lets you shop over 15 life insurance companies in one place.
It takes just a few minutes to find the right policy and apply online. This includes policies for life, home, auto, pet, renters, health, and more. Finally, manage your credit, loans, and debt with Credit Sesame. Credit Sesame helps you understand your credit, what affects it, and gives you details on how to leverage it to get products based on your score. Credit Sesame is free, and by signing up, you'll also receive credit monitoring and alerts, as well as identity theft protection. For other ways to help make ends meet and save money, we have resources for you on our website, WSFLTV.com. Just click Rebound.
The coronavirus has hit communities of color especially hard. Financially, it's also taken a disproportionate toll. But plant shops have provided comfort and stability in uncertain times. Ozzy Gomez's neighborhood storefront looks a lot like an indoor jungle.
Our main focus has been indoor houseplants, tropicals, cacti, anything weird and exotic, strange.
Co-owned by his longtime friend and business partner Juan Quesada, they run the plant shop.
It feels good to come into work and just put my hands in some soil and just kind of bond with people over something that's like very natural, very organic.
For many in the Latino community, a connection to caring and nurturing plants is intertwined with family and culture. Gomez grew up in Belize, surrounded by tropical plants.
When I was growing up, it was kind of all around me. My grandfather would plant things and grow things, you know, whether it was for the animals he was raising or whether it's for us.
I am Mexican, so I think that in my culture it plays a big role. Just from like remedies as growing up, my mother always used plants for remedies, even as small as like aloes. If I had a little cut, she always used that.
According to the Pew Research Center, the pandemic has hit Latinos especially hard. About 6 in 10 Latinos, 59%, in May said they live in households that have experienced job losses or pay cuts due to the coronavirus outbreak. Many have found solace during the pandemic in reconnecting with plants, a return to their roots.
When you start, thinking about where you came from and thinking about your ancestors, not only you think about them, but the places that were meant for me. I started thinking that kind of links it all. It's plants.
Gomez and Quesada have been fortunate. Business has been good to them during the pandemic. Despite having to limit the number of customers in the store, demand has increased. They've had to double their staff to keep up.
Thank you, guys.
Our customers are great, so they completely understand whether they have to wait outside for a sec or, you have to sanitize your hands coming in or wearing a mask.
Regulars like Glenn Gallett say it's worth it.
The amount of rare plants, things I've never seen before, things I've lusted after. I spent a lot of money here over the years, I'm not lying, but it's all been worth it.
In a time when most could use a little extra care, nurturing another living thing could be just the right medicine. I'm Usher Qureshi.
Every week on The Rebound, we've been highlighting communities in South Florida. We know there are so many reasons why we love to call this place home. Tonight, we leave you with Jamie Dubow.
I am from the Fort Lauderdale area, specifically Dania Beach. My parents still live in the same house that they took me home from the hospital to. It's just a very small little city town. I guess what gives it its unique charm is probably the beaches. Just they're very nice. Every time I go home, I make sure 100% that I go to Dairy Bell, literally a staple. Everything's kind of in one place. So you have the pier and you've got some little restaurants over there. And then just across the bridge, you have US 1, which is full of all those cool, fun places. So yeah, I guess that's how I would describe it. Just a small-ish little city with cool things happening all around.